I am the voice of Snowbird Nation, Mike Searcy.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Steve Richardson, the musician with Team Snowbird Nation, and I'm here with Dr. Mike Searcy, the professor and CEO, founder of Snowbird Nation, brokered by eXp Realty. We're coming back to you live today, everybody, to talk about a topic that really helps new agents and experienced agents alike when you're looking to generate a little bit more lead power. This is a great way to do it, and that is how to secure open houses. So, Dr. Mike, if you want to go ahead and guide us through the process of securing open houses, I think we would all be wonderfully grateful.
Thanks, Steve. Let me just go ahead and say that we are not just here with, Dr. Mike looking at how to get open houses, but, the musician is part of this call. And if there's anybody that has actually been very, very successful at open houses, it is Steve Richardson, the musician. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to go over, he and I are quite versed in. And we just want to make sure that as you all are looking for open houses, that you're doing it in a way that makes sense. Now, let me also go ahead and put in this caveat that we have other training out there in the ether that actually goes through how to conduct an open house. Today, in particular, we want to focus on how do I get one? How do I secure one? How do I get one going? And so, having said that, let's go ahead and do that. I don't know if you noticed there, I'm going to go ahead and force Steve to actually have to play that part of the video that apparently I am one of those guys that uses the phrase, having said that, quite a bit, that they've turned into a drinking game. So, okay. I am sharing my screen, and I am sharing my screen with Flex MLS right now. And it looks like it's the home page for Flex MLS. So what I want to do is I want to go through Flex MLS a little bit and kind of talk about how it is we obtain open houses. There's a couple of criteria that we need to actually think about and pay attention to first. The first thing we want to think about is we are with eXp Realty. Snowbird Nation, brokered by eXp. We are with eXp Realty. In every state, all brokerages will have their own rules and policies with regard to whether or not any given agent might be allowed to host open houses for any company other than their own. At the time of this video, and within the realms of jurisdictions that Steve and I operate and have team members in, it is the current policy of eXp that we are not allowed to host any open houses for any organization that isn't eXp. So we are at this point very happy to be a part of the fastest growing and largest real estate company in the world because we've got most of the listings anyway.
Nice, very cool.
So,
but just reading between those lines, Mike. So basically what you're saying is other brokerages might have different rules and different areas might have different rules when it comes to that.
That is exactly correct.
Nice.
So I have in my Flex MLS, we want to go over to, and let me go ahead and say, depending upon what MLS you are a part of, this may look different. I am personally a member of 2 different MLSs, and yes, the other one that I am a part of looks different, but the principles are the same. Okay, so let's go through this. We want to go and basically set up a search. That's the first thing we want to do. Now, at this time, as you can see, when I go into wanting to set up a search, there are of active and coming soon properties 6,002 in the greater Phoenix Valley area. That's pretty slim pickings right now.
That is very low, yeah.
So we are very low in that respect. So here's essentially how we want to do this. And yes, I want to do this and pick out specifically. Can you see my moving this, Steve? And
I can, yeah, I can see you live.
Okay, so we want to just make sure we're doing active and coming soon. And these are the ones we want to focus on. And these are the ones that we're going to focus on primarily for our buyers anyway. Because in this market, if there are only 6,002, and that is already being represented as a minutia of what ought to be in a balanced market, thus we have a seller's market, then we are wanting to also view the coming soon listings, because depending upon when they are expected to hit the market, we might just be actually approaching the listing agents at just the right time. Okay, so as I'm going through here, there are two things that we want to pay attention to in this particular setup. The first is we want to make sure that we are adding the field of the listing company, listing broker. And we need to actually find that. So what I've done is I've hit the add field. And what we want to do is we want to find out, kind of go through here, and I'm going to kind of scan a bit. I haven't done this in a little while, so we want to just make sure. And the reason I say that I haven't done this in a little while is because I have the search saved, and I have it emailed to me very regularly. And so, and that's what I would recommend you all do for yourself as well.
What would it be? The listing / selling company?
It would. Under what section is it?
I'm not sure. I just did a search.
You just did a search, so let's go ahead and do that. You did a search, and we're going to go ahead and in here put listing, and there it is. Excellent. Good suggestion there, Steve.
Thank you.
Listing / selling company. So we want to put that in there. Now, under the listing company, we want to actually put in EXP and have it find. EXP Realty. Okay. So we've added EXP Realty as the listing company. We don't want selling company because we don't care. We want listing company. Okay, so I've done that, and now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we want to actually run this search. So when I've done that, I've got 182 results. So right now, out of those 6,000, 182 are currently listed by EXP in this particular market at this time. Now, when I said 6,000 and some, we're talking about not only the actives, but in the coming soons, but we're talking about the entire MLS at this point. So what's the other criteria that we specifically want to find, Steve? Do you remember?
It would be, is that house vacant?
Is that house vacant is actually, ding, 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 the correct answer. And so we want to find now where it says occupied, and is that one of these things here, dwelling types?
It's under, I believe it's under occupant, but I did a search on that one as well.
Okay, and what's the search come out to?
I just put in vacant, and it's under occupant.
Vacant, good. Was it going to give it to me? Yep. So we want to go here for that, and we want to actually have it vacant. Steve, why do we want the house vacant?
It's a lot easier. I'm assuming it's just a lot easier for somebody to let you do a showing if the owner's property is not in the premises.
If the owner's not on the premises. Now, and let me go ahead and talk just a bit about that. Snowbird Nation wants you to take your position as a real estate advocate very, very seriously. And we look at the weekends as the Super Bowl of real estate.
Yes.
If you're doing open houses, we're not really into can I have an open house for an hour, for 2 hours? I'm sorry, that's ultimately not worth a professional's time if you want to make a living out of this. If you're a hobbyist and want to go and visit a house for an hour or two, that's great. But what we are really looking at is we want those agents who are willing to either work together or are really dedicated, that they're willing to do open houses. And we ask for open houses when we ask those listing agents for minimum Saturday and Sunday and oftentimes Friday from 10 a.m. in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And that many hours, that's where we're talking about. You've now displaced the owners who are potentially the occupants for
Yes.
the entirety of the weekend. If we can find vacant ones, we've pretty much eliminated this problem. The owners are already not there. The tenants are already not there. So it makes it that much easier to find the properties we're looking for, and ones that will be easier for the listing agent to go ahead and say, yeah, sure, you can do an open house. Okay, so we've selected vacant. And so now we want to do, we're looking at 54 listings. You see this site right up here? Where it tells us exactly how many listings we've got. And I'm going to go ahead and say, let's look at those. What I am going to do though, let's go ahead and look at those. And then what I'm going to do is I want to save this particular search. And that's partly why I'm kind of fumbling a little bit, because I saved this search some time ago. And so we want to save this search specifically under your own name as a prospect and have this come to you every week minimum. Okay, and you want the whole list coming to you every week, or as it comes out. Now you'll notice here that I have vacant land, which tells me what, Steve?
You have vacant land. How are you searching this? It's residential, huh?
Yeah, so it's basically lots that you can build houses on.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Do I want that? No, I don't. So I'm going to go flip right back to edit search and come back here and go to dwelling type. And I want this to be single detached, or patio home, or townhouse, or apartment style flat. Or if you're in a different MLS, pick the things that are not vacant lots. Okay, and then as I go down here, do I want a twin home? No. Am I interested in hosting a manufactured home? My preference is not. Yours might be, depending upon your particular niche, loft style, etc. So I've picked up single family, detached, townhouse, and apartment style flat. Dwelling styles, any of this might be okay. Detached is usually easier, as far as being able to get people there, but that's all right. And you'll notice I dropped from 50 something to now 47. Okay. So now let's go ahead and look back at that search, or the results of that search. And I am looking at $56,000 and in Pierce, Arizona. Now you're likely to find things all over the state when you have agents who are listing things who's a member of multiple MLS places. If they're paying for that, they're going to cross list because they want to attract attention. So what we want to obviously do is we want to pay attention specifically to the location. And these will come up in terms of price, price all the way, from smallest to largest, which tells me I am specifically going to start at the bottom of this list. And why am I going to start at the bottom of this list?
Maybe because it's sorted. Is it sorted by price?
It is. It is. And as it's sorted by price, I'm looking at vacant, and I'm looking at properties. But here's a little secret about open houses. The people that are drive-bys, and I look at open houses and a lot like a fishing expedition. You're going fishing for the day. Now, the fact is, you might spend the entire day in a boat with your line in the water, and you might be fishing, and you might catch nothing the entire day. That's the reality. But on those days that you are hooking a fish, it makes up for those days, doesn't it? And that's what we are doing. We're fishing for unrepresented buyers. We're fishing so that we might be able to find buyers. Now, if I'm doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday 10 to 4, or Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 4, I'm out there fishing and giving the fish enough time to come in. Now, if they're going to drive by and come into the house, I need to have them time to do that. A 2-hour trip doesn't often give someone who drives by and who happens to drive by the house an hour and a half into it and thinks, I'm going to run home and go get my spouse and come back. By the time they came back, you've closed up shop. And you missed out on that fish. It's the one that got away big time. So the other thing we know about buyers, at least commonly, let me put it that way, commonly, is that buyers have a tendency to have eyes bigger than their budgets. So the higher the price open house you can do coordinatedly, the higher the price the buyers are going to be able to afford when they come in. But likely, it's been our experience that they're probably one level, they're able to purchase one level below what they're actually walking into. So if I'm looking at a house and I'm holding a house, open house for a $1.5 million property, that might mean that the buyers who are coming through are probably $750,000 to $900,000. And that's okay. So our goal is to try and get an open house at the highest dollar possible so that we can actually have the greater chance of securing the bigger fish. Now, having said all of that, we're going to come back to our list and we're going to go through and say, okay, some of these are all coming soon. And for whatever reason, these didn't come exactly in the order I wanted them to come into. Oh, yes, they did.
They did, but yeah.
It came in order of active, then price, then coming soon, then price. Okay, so as we're looking at this, I'm going to go first to the active ones. And the first one on the high side of that list, in this particular case, is $3,990,000 on 94th Street.
Let's go ahead and get that one. That one looks like a great one, Mike. Let's go ahead and secure that.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. We know it's in Scottsdale, so it's in the Phoenix Valley. So we know it's within the geography that at least the core Snowbird Nation agents are potentially interested in looking at. And see, that's what those are the things you want to look at first. Then I'm going to select it, and I'm going to say to myself, is that a picture of a real house, or is that a picture of rendering and that there isn't an actual building there yet? So having said that, I want to jump over here to the details, and I want to pull up the house, and I look at the year built, 2022. Yeah. My guess is there's no house there. It's a vacant lot.
Yeah.
And of course, a vacant lot would be vacant. Another clue to that would be it's been on the market for 111 days. Oof. And so I'm going to probably just send a quick message to this particular agent and ask if this house is standing yet.
Yeah.
And it says captivating new build combines. It's a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath, open plan, sits on a private cul-de-sac, surrounded by some of the best restaurants and such, and goes on. The open and inviting home includes top-of-the-line features such as hardwood floors, appliance package, quartz countertops. The home also includes an upstairs guest suite or second. So they've done a really good job of being very vague.
Yes.
Meaning they haven't really told us. This is January that we're doing this video, we're recording this video, January of 2022. They're calling this a 2022 build. There's very little chance it was just completed in the last 20 days to be a 2022 build. So This one, I would have to shy away from but I would send a message to the agent to ask, is this a property that is built? And if so, boy, would we love to do new construction open house. And if it's not, what's the status? Okay.
Right.
Now your final answer. I did send a message to this particular agent this last week.
Hey, that's not fair, Mike. I mean, you already knew the answer here.
I did know the answer, but as I said, I sent the message to ask the question because all the signs were there that it wasn't actually a real property yet. Okay, because we're in the Phoenix Valley, we are going to then exclude Flagstaff, potentially exclude Buckeye, unless we have people on the west side of the valley that are interested specifically in Buckeye. And so let's go take a look at the one in Buckeye, because we do have agents, for example, who are on the west side of the valley. And one of the first things I want to do here is the same thing. So this was built in 2021. My suspicions are already raised. Look no further, you found your new home. This new build is situated on 1.29 acres with magical mountain views and tons of upgrades. Okay, it's been on the market for 133 days. And then I'm going to look at, go through and look at, okay, so we know that's the case. It's hard to say. What do the photos look like? So have I got real photos all the way through? Why, I do have photos all the way through. They don't look exactly like rendering, artist rendering. Right. I say that because of things like, oh, there's a car right here in the background. Which if it was an artist rendering, that probably wouldn't be there. So this one's probably more likely available to do something like this. And so this one is listed at $1.5 million. And so we're likely to get somebody coming through here who would more than likely, and yeah, we do get the person occasionally who could afford this one or more, but more than likely you will get people who will traffic through here and are probably more realistically available to purchase $700,000 to $900,000 homes, maybe even $500,000 homes. And those properties are nothing to sneeze at either, and they're great properties. The problem we often have with people trying to make a living at real estate is that they want to do open houses for $300,000 homes. And then they wind up with a whole bunch of clients at $180,000 purchase power.
Yeah.
And if there aren't properties available at $180,000 purchase power, you're doing an awful lot of work and not being able to pay your rent. So this one thus far looks really good. So this is a prime candidate. And then after I'd go through from there. Here's one in Chandler, one again, one in Scottsdale. And I start going through these very carefully with the same idea. Then I make a list. I will make a list in my notebook of the addresses, and I will make a list of the agent's name, and I will make a list of pricing. What's the list price? How long it's been vacant. But the one thing I didn't check on here, because we haven't come across it yet, is I want to check, and I'm just going to kind of skim through a couple of these for a moment, and hopefully catch something here. Let's go back to details. All right, let me flip back down. I am looking. Here we go. Okay. So this one on 140th Street in Chandler, Arizona for 1.45. You'll notice up here, and every MLS will have this somewhere, an open house setup, an open house tab. And I'll look at this open house tab also, and I'll go, huh, they're doing open houses every weekend. What are the likely chances they're going to let us do an open house? I'm gonna if I've got an A, B, and C category, I'm gonna put this on the B category, not the A. I gotta try and get this one as fast as I can category. The C category are the agents, and you'll have listing agents come in a couple of varieties, just like people do. You'll have agents who are very protective of their sellers and very protective of their work and have such confidence in their own work that they don't believe anybody else could possibly do work like they do, which means they will turn you down cold and sometimes not nicely. So I'm just going to put it out there. Those are the agents. I mark those when I look at agent names. I mark those agents as the C group. Meaning, if I'm really desperate, I may send them a message, but I have no belief they're going to let me do it. But you might be surprised because people eventually change, when they get tired of doing everything themselves, or sometimes they have a change of heart. But those are the ones that we look at and go, yeah, I'm not excited about contacting that agent. Agents have reputations of being either good agents, bad agents, friendly agents, unfriendly agents, et cetera, et cetera. So, all right. So I want to look at the open house setup here. Now, once I've done this, I am and made my list, I'm going to start going down that list, and I am going to send I'm going to send an email and a text message to the agents that are connected to that listing. Okay, so I'm going to send a message both on text and email. The message is going to read, and I'm going to read mine to you. You'll want to prepare something very similar. Hi, this is Mike Searcy with Snowbird Nation, brokered by eXp Realty. Our team is looking for an open house this weekend and would very much like to host your listing at, fill in the address here. We have collective experience with the luxury market. Remember, we're starting at the higher price. We might change that if we wind up getting really, really wanting an open house, but wind up all the way down at not a luxury price. We have collective experience with the luxury market. If possible, we would love to host it on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we promise to provide an after-action report for you to relay to your seller. We will enforce COVID protocol. I am happy to discuss this with you further on how our team operates to reassure any concerns you may have. On the off chance this home is not available, I am sending out a couple of requests. So if this is possible, please reach out soon. Thanks, may we? ? Friendly, professional, promise to provide feedback. In this day and age, promise to provide a COVID and enforce COVID protocol. And again, refer to our other video to talk about that protocol. But if you're not hosting on Friday, for example, we want to change that to Saturday and Sunday. But when you're showing them, we're not just an agent trying to do 2 hours at your house. We take this very seriously. And this particular message has had a lot of positive response from listing agents. But I'll tell you what, if you don't provide feedback at the end of the open house, you just made yourself a liar. And they will remember that at the next request. So once that's done, and you get up and you send that to all of them and you wait for feedback coming back, sometimes they will say, no, we can't. No, it's gone under contract. They will say, sure, this looks like a great idea. Or how about the following weekend? And they'll follow those kinds of patterns. And you want to keep those notes and follow back up with them, et cetera, et cetera. Hi, Cheryl. I'm pretty good. Yourself? Fabulous. We would love to do that open house from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yes, please. I tell my team the weekends are your Super Bowl. I do. I lead a team that's multi-state. And yes, I do have some commercial agents as well as I do commercial both in Arizona as well. Okay. Okay. Well, that's perfect. I understand. I don't right now, other than, is there an alarm system on it? Okay. Gotcha. Well, we will have more than likely Steve Richardson and Candace Rauch will be there on Friday. And then I've got two others that will take the lead on Saturday and two others that will take the lead on Sunday. Absolutely be happy to. I will make sure the entire team has your number. Fabulous. So, well, we appreciate it. Thank you. You bet. Talk to you soon. Bye. So there you go. That's what a return call looks like. The agent was happy to actually hear that we have agents who are ready, willing, and able to come to their aid and work with open houses. Now, there are other agents who will give you a flat no, and that's okay, because as we say in all of real estate, whether you're looking for open houses, whether you're looking for clients, whether you're cold door knocking, cold calling, whatever it might be, the 5 W's, 5 SWs always apply. SW, 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 SW. Some will, some won't. So what? Somewhere, someone's waiting.
Oh, nice. Very good.
So good luck with your open houses. And if you want training on how to actually perform open houses, check out our other videos.
Thank you, Dr. Mike, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you for joining, everybody.
Hey, just a quick note. If this video resonated with you and you happen to be a real estate agent or interested in becoming a real estate agent, please reach back out to the person who shared this video with you. And if you don't have somebody who shared this video with you and you just happen to find it, then reach out to us, the number's below, and let us know that you saw all of this on SBN and Snowbird Nation, because we'd love to talk to you about joining us where your real estate dreams take flight.